saying. He was like adopted.
And
Job.
when you went out, the first house there, Tom Jones, that was Miss Laura's brother.
Yeah.
Oldest, when it wasn't the oldest brother, but it's the second brother.
Yeah.
And he lived there, him and his wife.
Right here by the cemetery?
Yeah, that's on the side of the cemetery where I had the green house.
Wow.
And then later on.
That's straight that way. Right? I got to get that. I'm going to go over there.
And all that was all in there, you know. And
wow.
Right here, well, Miss Laura, you remember Miss Laura?
Yeah, her trailer was right there, yeah.
Well, it was a home there. That was her oldest brother, Arthur Jones.
Yes.
That was his house. And his
right there
down.
where her trailer was at?
Yeah.
Okay.
The house burnt down.
I remember that.
And on the other side was the school, the church was.
Yeah,
the school
right
was
there, yeah.
And then inside there where the county bought that thing,
that parking lot they built?
Yeah, here was another little house in there. Miss Little Fool lived in there.
Wow.
And then that's where the rock house, it was a rock house in there.
Wow.
That's where Tom Jones' daddy lived.
Wow.
And yeah. And back over there in the wood behind the Scots, it was.
That's way back there, the Scott's property back there.
Way back.
Just to give them an idea, that's way back there with the Scott's property. Tom Jones owned that back there, his family?
No. Where the Scots, behind there was another family. What was their name? The old man's name. Jenkins. The last name was Jenkins. They stayed in that home. And the old house still back in there.
Really? Oh my God! And that had to be what?
If you go through the Scott, you go right by the old house.
And it's still there? It has to be, what, 150 years old? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of history, Mr. Jakey.
Yeah.
So when did
you know, it was 2 quarters here.
2 quarters what?
Black quarter community.
Well, yeah, that's what they call it. When I looked up the archives, it said this was called the colored quarters.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, it looked like somewhere in the 1920s, they say about 100 to 200 black families came here.
Oh, there was a lot of Negroes out here.
Yeah, they came here, and basically this was like a little black Rosewood.
Well, you know what Stone Road at up here?
Yeah.
Well, if you turn and go down Stone Road, there was a black community over there.
That's what Herman said. You and Herman is brothers. So me and Herman was talking because I was doing a history project. So I said to my mother, who lives over there, I said, you know, this area, they said that this was a black area, like black people, black cemetery was over here. And she's like, she didn't know.
Well, they dug that mine, that hard rock out that mine over
Yeah.
there off of Richardson.
Yeah.
That was the black cemetery.
The right there where they built that park?
Yeah, back in there. When they started digging that lime rock out of there, they say they transferred some of them up to
Rose Cemetery in Tarpon.
But you know how they were.
Well, that's what Herman told me. He said, no, he said, I remember. He said, I seen it. I don't think they removed any of them. I think it's people still there.
And if you go on Stone Road, when you get there, you'll see like a ditch down in there.
Yeah.
All from there on back, all around there with Negroes.
Wow. So if you're going towards 19 or towards the other side?
Going
towards Embassy.
Embassy.
Wow. And that's why they took all those, they destroyed that whole black area and made them subdivision homes.
Yeah, because we lived it over there.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Wow. That's a big old, maybe they on vacation, huh?
Yeah. We lived it over there.
And by Stone Road?
On Stone Road.
Wow.
And that's when Daddy built down where the school's at.
Okay.
See, he was on that 10 acres all back to where the bus was. It was 10 acres he bought.
So your father owned that?
And built a log house, log cabin in there.
Wow.
And we stayed there. Well, that's where he passed and my mother passed.
In the bus garage?
Where Booker T at.
That Booker T?
Yeah, our house was right where Booker T.
Wow. So literally where I go to have my meeting every Saturday, every Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
I'm the vice president of Booker T.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
What y'all have thing for the kids down there or something?
Yeah. So what we do, we're doing our Martin Luther King Day celebration, which you're invited to. That's going to be on Martin Luther King Day, where we're going to march from the church, and then we're going to go on down to the schoolhouse, and we're going to have a celebration. The kids are going to be performing dances. They're going to have coffee, cakes, and all that stuff. And we're going to be doing some screening of Martin Luther King speeches as well at the clubhouse. Yeah, we're still doing this. Been 30 plus years. We gave away, but we giving away scholarships to the kids as well to go to college. We done gave away almost $100,000 in scholarships for the youth in Pasco over the last 10 years. Yeah, Eugene started it, 30 years ago.
Yeah, Eugene been ready for a long time.
Long time, but that's history right there, Mr. Jakey, and you were part of it, 90 years old, and you over here still telling me, you told me stuff, Mr. Jakey, I didn't even know. I didn't know there was houses. I knew Jimmy's house was there, Miss Duke's house was there. I remember when I was growing up, it was Mrs. I remember Mr. Harris's mother.
Yeah.
She used to stay in her trailer. Then Mr. Harris and his wife stayed in the brick house.
Yeah.
And then I remember Gene and them. And then if you go around the way, around that bend, it was somebody else black that used to stay back there too, right? Wasn't it?
Yes. Black man owned it all that back there.
Yeah.
Hosey Bryant.
Hosey Bryant. I read about him too in the archives.
And he sold Mr. Harris his. If you notice, when you get to Gene mother and them house, to how the road sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
Because the county wouldn't give him permission. He had to give him the right of way, and so that's why that road got that little curve in it. But he owned it, all that back in there. Now, Miss Laura's daughter lived it over there. Hosey sold her a lot. And what's his other guy's name? There was 3 black families lived. If you're going through that way on the left-hand side, then nobody live on the right-hand side.
Wow. Because the lake right to the right? The lake, yeah. If you go to the right, I see the lake.
And Hosey sold that company, that part in that, when you come off of Leo King and that, Hosey sold that. And if you come back down here, that house where that oil gas company, that was Hosey home in there.
Really?
Yeah, that's where Hosey lived.
Wow.
He sold it, and then he moved it down to Lakeland.
To Lakeland?
Not Lakeland. Was it Lakeland? Yeah, it was Lakeland. That's where he moved down to. That's where he passed away at.
Wow.
And yeah, there was a lot of Negroes out here. A whole lot of them.
Yeah, it said 300 plus. It was like and that's why I'm creating this documentary, and thank God, because you're in it right now, live. But nobody knows that story. Nobody. 300 black families living right here in West Pasco. No wonder why they call it the colored quarters.
Nobody lived in Newport Richey. All was in Port Richey.
All in Port Richey. Now let me ask you. So
that's when all the Yankees came down to Port Richey.
Oh
Newport Richey.
Yeah. So you know what's interesting though is, so you had Port Richey and then Newport Richey. So when we got the petition to do the sidewalks, and I met with the county, I had to meet also with the city of Port Richey and Newport Richey. Yeah. This street is so gerrymandered. Jakey, the county owns the baseball field. They sold it. The city used to own it. They sold it to the county. They swapped the building downtown, the health department. So the county now owns the ballpark and that lot.
Yeah.
City of Newport Richey owns the cemetery, George Sims Cemetery. City of Newport Richey owns the works department across the street, and then that. Then Port Richey owned a little bit of that. You have 3 different municipalities owning one street. Why is that?
That building down there, that's Newport Richey.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. So why is it in this, if you said this was the most predominantly black part of town, how is it that you have a county inside 2 municipalities?
Well, I think from the beginning, it might be wrong. I might be wrong, because it was all
designed that way, maybe?
On that side, on the south side of Pine Hill Road.
Yeah.
If you went up, it was a dairy.
Yeah.
And his fence ran all the way down into by where they built that new place and went back. And the cows used to come through this. You said Leo Kid, the other end.
Yeah.
Went up back to the dairy.
Huh.
And the dairy was over on what's the name of that street going through there?
Washington?
Yeah, Washington.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
where you had to go to the Washington.
Yeah.
And the Cubulus owned it, that dairy.
The Cubulus, yeah.
And but all that there was cow pasture.
Really?
So I don't know if he owned it or who owned it,
Yeah.
but it all was cow pasture.
Wow, that's interesting. I think that's so interesting. You have so much history. So most of the black, I thought it was funny. I said, so the city of Newport Richey is across the street, but you can't vote in the city of Newport Richey.
No, no.
You can't because you're not in the city limits.
You're not in the city.
So
You're in the county.
You're in the county.
Everything on this side of the road is county.
But everything on that side of the road is, wait. So this the county, but the baseball field on that side is county. But if you go to the next easement, that's the city. And then the next city, oh man, that's called gerrymandering.
And I noticed the city got their city sign on there, but it's further up.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't play by their easements and where their property lines are for sure. I mean, that's the part of the history. That's what we're trying to document. There's so much history. So what else about the black history around here that people don't know you think we should know?
Well,
so you, Doretha, and Thomasy are three sisters children.
Yeah.
And your family came here in 25?
Yeah.
They say 25?
Somewhere along in that. Well, let me see. I think Miss Laura said she came here in 25.
Yeah.
And
I think when I talked to Granny, she told me it was 25 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 25.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what year my father came here.
Were you born here?
Yeah, I was born here.
You was born here. Wow. Were you born by the midwife?
Yeah. You know what? Hooters restaurant?
Yeah.
I was born right over there.
You born? Hey, literally right on the river.
It was a Sawgrass Marsh, and the lady my mother was working with, Martha Olson, she owned that house, and that's where we were living at.
Yeah.
And then we moved from there. They call that the sub.
Yeah.
That community
Yeah.
was called the sub.
Wow.
And we lived up there until Daddy bought these 10 acres and built a home over here.
Wow.
But
she was born at where Hooters is at.
Yeah.
On the river, on the banks of the Gulf.
Yeah. 1935.
1935. President Franklin Roosevelt. I think it was Roosevelt was the president at the time. I think. Wow, that's history right there. Sir, you served in Europe,
Yeah.
and Korea, and you went to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Served this country and came back home and worked and served the community.
Yeah, I had a repair shop there in Tarpon for 30 years.
Yeah.
In fact, when I first started off, I wasn't working on no old big diesel truck. That's
Yeah.
why I'm wearing hearing aids today. I lost my high frequency.
Yeah. Working on them, yeah.
Them old diesel was screaming, especially them old GMC, they would scream. And but I still do a little things for people. Tomorrow I gotta go and install a hot water heater for one of the deacons in the church.
What church you going to now?
Mount Olive Missionary Baptist in Clearwater.
Okay. You get on that road, boy. You don't like that that traffic in Clearwater. Seems like you get out of
I
top
give myself an hour in the morning.
Okay, you beat the traffic. Okay.
And it depends on how the red lights are. I usually get there about 10 minutes before, but if the red lights catch me.
Yeah, them red lights. But yeah, watch out now. Them red lights sending tickets in the mail.
But I don't never be late. I get there on time. Yeah.
You used to go to church up here, right?
I was in that church 62 years.
62 years. You was the deacon. I remember when I was growing up in the 90s, because Granny used to take us to church. You know Granny. We used to walk up to the church all the time. Yeah. When did you stop going there? Because that was, who built that church?
Well, since I'm on that, I won't say what.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline.